We're joined by Jess Kelly, Newstalk's tech correspondent, in partnership with Virgin Media. Bring your A game with 99.9% broadband reliability. I love it. I mean, it's the best thing out there. Gets me all nostalgic. Yeah. Jess.
Well done, Jess.
Thanks, Nathan.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.
How are you?
I'm alright, how are you?
Great.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
She's going to talk FIFA and Pro Evo. This is
right up your alley.
Yeah.
Even though you're crap.
As soon as I knew you were on this morning, I was like, okay, talk about something that he'll actually know about. So, it's kind of sad news. It was announced last May, that EA Sports and FIFA are no longer going to be partnering on one of the biggest gaming titles of all time, FIFA. The FIFA 23 is the last iteration, and this is because FIFA wanted $1 billion for the honour of having the FIFA branding on the game. And EA Sports weren't willing to do that, so now they're going to make what's called EA Sports FC. That'll be out this September. But I think it's an interesting one because, like, obviously FIFA is FIFA, but EA Sports has built up this reputation over 30 years. And now it'll be interesting to see if the fans will follow EA Sports or will they wait and see what FIFA does, because they're saying that they will make their own version of a game. That will be in 2024. But we've seen before where these famous companies, these very, very powerful brands, will go off and do their own thing because, you know, they're either eyes on money or different agendas. And then they fail because they don't have the expertise of the likes of EA in their corner. So I'm interested to see what happens.
Is there any information as to whether FIFA, the rulers of football, have taken all of the staff from EA Sports to replicate the game?
So what's interesting is EA has... So there's a few different game houses within EA. So EA Sports is just one iteration of it. So there's the wider EA company. And EA has also retained more than 300 of the partners that are part of the FIFA game. So you have the likes of Premier League, you've the likes of Nike, all of the individual partners are sticking with EA. And EA is saying that breaking away from FIFA will give them greater freedom to innovate a little bit more when it comes to the game. So if you're a fan of FIFA, which I know you are, Shane, are you a FIFA fan?
I used to enjoy watching people play FIFA.
Oh,
that's just weird.
I know, my brother was good at FIFA. I was one of those people who, funny enough, I was of that generation who I went outside and played football with my friends.
Well,
rather than
lots of people can do
both.
Do both.
Like, it's fascinating how it's developed from, like, sensible soccer back in the day, which was obviously the most basic of things, and then there was are you Pro Evo or are you FIFA? And Pro Evo didn't have all of those deals, so you would play as Manchester United wouldn't be called Manchester United. None of the teams would be called their real names, and even though Pro Evo was maybe a more playable game, FIFA had a bit of gravitas because you could be Liverpool or Manchester United, which is what kids would generally want. But FIFA now, while they have 300 partnerships, have lost some. So you haven't been able to be Juventus for recent times. You can't play Brazil as an international side. So they have lost some of them. But I still think, and listen, I'm sure FIFA feel it's called FIFA, so they deserve their billion.
Yeah.
But so many people, when they think FIFA, if you were to walk out in the Grafton Street and say, what is FIFA? I would say at least 50%, if not more, would say it's a video game.
There around 150 million games have been sold. It is one of the most lucrative deals. It's worth billions in terms of sales over the last 2 or 3 decades. So, and that's what I mean at the top about, you know, will FIFA actually be the biggest loser here, because they won't have the naming rights. And although some of the teams, and there may be subtle changes within the EA game, if you're a gamer, you're probably going to want the best gaming experience, and you may be willing to make a compromise on what team you can be or what player you can have and so on. And I think that if FIFA doesn't come out with something that is going to blow EA out of the water, it's going to have been for nothing, essentially, just for the sake of an extra few quid. So it'll be interesting to see how well the EA Sports FC does when it comes out in September. Do you think you'll get it, Nathan?
I would expect so. It'll be demanded that I get it in my house. The fact that they have the partnerships now, FIFA can obviously say, well, you can play the World Cup on whatever their game will be, but they also have FIFA Pro, which is the players' organisation. It's really interesting where the money trickles down to. So the PFAI in Ireland, which represents the players, the League of Ireland players, their main source of revenue is through sales of the FIFA computer game, because they're associated with FIFA Pro and they receive so much money to have the rights of all their players that trickles down through all the players' organisations. So the fact that Seamus Coleman and Matt Doherty are named in that means that the money comes back into Irish football again, and you'd have to assume that FIFA Pro are going to stick with EA Sports because there's the guaranteed revenue, unless FIFA can go to the various national organisations and somehow force their hand that they need to go with them. But it's hard to see how you can come up with a game that can compete with the graphics and
what
the
it comes down to.
playability of FIFA.
Yeah.
Like, it's like me saying I can host off the ball because I know how to talk on TV and radio, but I have none of the sporting knowledge. So which would you rather? Would you rather watch one of these?
You could bluff it, yeah.
Well,
exactly,
okay.
yeah.
Maybe not the best example.
Case in point.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's that thing of you can be the best at, in terms of, you know, name recognition in the world of football, but then be crap at making video games. And these games are expensive enough. So if, when we get the early previews of whatever the new FIFA game is going to be comes out, and if it looks naff, or if we have something like we had with Cyberpunks where they've been working on it for ages but the game is buggy and glitchy and doesn't work, people aren't going to spend between 60 and 90 euro to buy it. And that could be the downfall. If 2024 is the first year where we don't have a FIFA game, but we have EA Sports FC, it could be the end of FIFA's involvement in the franchise. And once again, it's all about money.
We have some B-roll footage here. I think this is from this is the EA Sports.
This is the EA Sports
version.
FC, yeah. There's only short trailers available of it. But they're very much trying to get the messaging out there that you're not going to be playing generic football team 1 against generic football team 2. They're very much focused on the innovation in terms of the graphics, ensuring that you have all of the competitive elements that anyone who's played the FIFA franchise over the last 30 years will want. They also have, EA also has the NHL, the PGA Tour, Formula 1. So they're not solely reliant on the football side of things. Like, they have a big franchise. We're seeing a huge development in terms of the NHL and the Formula 1 side of things. So I think it's only a matter of time before, like, there's a potential for a proper wow moment, I think, for the fans of FIFA without FIFA.
They've been very smart in how they've developed it as well. So Football Manager was obviously a huge game that I've spoken about. Is an obsessive game, and it's still there and you can still play Football Manager. But within FIFA, there's basically a Football Manager mode as well. So, like, it frustrates the life out of me when I go in to the sitting room and the kids are playing FIFA, but they're not actually playing a match. They're just simming all the games and managing the teams and signing the players. But also, as all of these games do now, the Ultimate Team, where you are constantly having to actually invest more money. So you buy the game and then you're spending money on points to be able to buy better players for when you're playing online. It's a never-ending circle of
spending
cash.
real life money.
Or real life money. So, and that's with all computer games now, whether it's Fortnite or Roblox or whatever.
Like the in-app
Fortnite,
purchases.
I think at least is free when you buy it initially.
Yeah.
So FIFA you still pay for. You pay your, was it 60 quid I
or
paid
70
for,
quid,
or something like that.
Yeah.
You still then, they want to have the newest, I'm going to start getting lost in the terminology right now. I'm going to say the newest skins and the newest players, all of that.
Yeah.
How do you do, fellow kids?
But I know this, but so this is...
but that's how they make money.
So it's my young lad's birthday soon, and he's not asking for a game. He's asking for
downloadable content,
V-Bucks.
Yeah.
And he's asking for money to put on his FIFA game that he's already paid 60, 70 quid for. So,
but we've spoken about this before, and we've kind of touched upon it over the last few weeks here as well. A lot of these companies aren't making, although they're like their revenue sheets would show that there's money coming in, they're not making enough money to sustain them. And as time goes on, the creation of this content is only going to get more expensive. So if you look at mobile gaming, or if you look at any of the big titles for the consoles, the way they're bringing extra revenue in is either through Game Pass subscriptions or that downloadable content, whereby you pay anything from, $1.99 right through to 40 quid for updates or extra tokens or whatever it is. That's how they're going to make money. And I think we're going to get into a slippery slope where people are going to be paying for all their streaming services, all their live entertainment, and then have to take out essentially a second mortgage just to sustain their gaming habit, because it does get pretty expensive.
Do you guys fall for the in-app purchases on your phones? I have a couple of, the Flight Radar app, Flight Radar 24, where you can track the airplanes and stuff. I mean,
Such a dork.
I know. You
I
can-
love that.
You pay.
If I'm out walking at home and I see a plane, I'll be like, I wonder where that's going.
Really?
Yeah.
London to Cairo, 36,000 feet. You know the airline, the
I
speed.
don't know why I care or what the aim of it is.
I paid the in-app purchase for. So there's a generic airplane image for each plane, but if you pay extra. So the 747 is in the shape of a 747, and the A380 is in that shape, and the helicopters appear as a helicopter.
That's fair enough.
No, we have to take your card away from
I know.
you.
My second most used app is the Night Sky app, where you're out at night and you can, it uses that whole VR,
stars
augmented reality stuff where you can
I
click
thought
on
I
a
was the
star.
biggest dork in the office, but clearly I'm not.
No,
It's Shane.
Yeah, the in-app.
Oh, well, come on.
Take the mantle, 100%. No, I love those apps. The in-app purchases I get drawn into. So if I was a FIFA fan, I'd be.
I don't understand people who don't use Flight Radar. Like, when you're at Manchester Airport,
Yeah, I use them in the airport.
everybody is queuing, and I'm like,
The plane hasn't even landed.
the plane has just left Dublin.
Yeah.
All you got to do is check here. Oh, it might be a different plane. It's like, it's not.
No, but I don't walk around the sky going, oh, I wonder what that is. I've no interest in that. But the in-app purchases thing, there's a serious side to this beyond kind of being able to tweak your airplane and helicopter images. It's a bit of a gateway into the more compulsive side of gaming and gambling and so on. And a lot of people don't necessarily realise that that's the case. Like a few years ago when Candy Crush was massive and people were reporting that they were, buying the add-ons, extra coins for $1.99. And suddenly, before they knew it, they'd spent $3,000 on individual $1.99 purchases over 30 days. So I think it's worth noting that you can turn off or control aspects of your in-app purchases. And I think one of the worst and best things to ever happen is the Apple Pay and the Google Pay that you can just double click and do it instantly.
So easy.
So be careful.
Too easy. Very briefly, Jess, and I guess airplanes and carbon footprint is a nice segue into this, but Microsoft is updating the Xbox to become the first carbon-aware console.
Yeah, this is kind of cool and it's good for the environment but also for your pocket. If you do have an Xbox, you may know that it just goes on to standby mode. When it's on that, it can add between 60 to 100 quid to your energy bills, which is not ideal. So now Microsoft is pushing an update that will make it more energy efficient. If there's a big update due, or if you are downloading content, games and so on, the console will know the most efficient time from an energy point of view when to do that. So it could be between 2 and 6 a.m. in the morning. It'll also then go into sleep mode rather than standby mode. It still won't take a day and a half to boost up or anything like that, but they're all just about trying to lower the carbon emissions and also your energy bills, which is good news.
By standby mode, you mean if you turn off the Xbox, it's still on?
When it's on the light is on, yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
Right.
Save the
Always
planet,
should have
guys.
done it. Yeah, but it's also save your pockets. Like,
Well, yeah.
the energy bills, the consoles are bonkers. Very often I'll come home and I'll turn the source button on the TV and I'll see that the console is still on a game, still loading and just in the background. That is not good for anyone from an energy point of view or from a financial point of view. So always make sure you turn it off.
Jess, great stuff as always. Thanks a million for
Thank
popping
you.
in. Jess Kelly, of course, Newstalk's tech correspondent. You can follow her on Twitter at Jess Kelly NT in partnership with Virgin Media. That slot, bring your A game with 99.9% broadband reliability. Okay.